happening? How you doing? So I recently just did a live show with the Octatrack. That's not something that's that uncommon for me, but it was what was uncommon is that I did it in the same method that I would normally use this bugger right here, the SP404. So basically, what I do when I do what I do when I do SP404 sets is I run a DJ software on my computer and run through the 404 to capture the effects like an effects module or to, to make the effects happen like an effects module. So I racked my little brain as to how to accomplish that with the Octatrack. That was what was in question. All right. So I think I came up with a pretty cool method of doing it. I wanted to share it with you guys. Some people asked me to share it. Here goes nothing. Hopefully the audio for this is good. I'm doing it in a slightly different method. Okay, just slightly different, but hope the audio's good. All right, here's what we have to do first. First, you want to come to your mix screen, and I have the main volume at 63, have the direct input volume at 16, and the gain is at 0, and that is for inputs A and B. Inputs A and B is all I'll use for this setup. You're going to want to run, let me see if I can find the cable real quick. So what I ended up doing was just running headphone jack to 1/4 inch into the input A and B on the Octatrack. All right. Boom. Okay. Told you that the gain is at 0, direct input is at 16, and the main volume is jacked all the way up to 63. So what I did was I made myself 3 through tracks. All right. I'm gonna start on the principal through track. The principal through track, meaning my main primary through track, right? The through track that is going to be the clean sound, the clean audio straight through from the computer, from the DJ software, straight through the Octatrack. And the reason why I'm running the DJ software is because this is like an easy way, excuse me, excuse me, for me to play pre-recorded joints that are already made with hella gear, with, using all of my equipment, but I don't want to perform them per se using all of my equipment, right? So you can just run them through. So yeah, I have this principal through track, right? And on that through track, I have the volume at plus 33. Okay? You gotta put the trigger there, and that initiates the track. All right. On the second through track, right above that, I have the volume at plus 20. Okay? And at the third through track, right above that one, I have the volume also at plus 20. All right. The top through track is the one my delay sits on. So I ran that as a mono. It's A plus B. So it's the sum of its parts mono. The other delay track has my reverb on it. I ran that as stereo. And the principal through track, the one here at the bottom, of course, it's in stereo because I wanted the track to play through in all its glory. All right, so let's take a look here. With this method, right, what was happening, and I'll play some footage right here so you can see me at the show using this method. Some GoPro footage is not the best, not the worst. But okay, so I wanted to have my effects, these two at the top, almost like dry wet, and just using those two wasn't allowing me to do it because at some point, wherever I am in the effect, in the crossfader, it's like I still have to be affected by the effect. Even if I turn it completely off, the moment I move off of it, it's like I start to get the effect, whether it's a filter or a delay or a reverb, whatever, right? And that's not a problem for me, but it's like you get the effect, but how can I say this? It's not like a dry wet type of thing. It's like the effect takes over the whole track, and that is not what I wanted to happen. I wanted like a dry wet type of thing, so it's like you could hear the delay on top of the track, but it's not the entire track isn't delaying out. Get what I'm saying? You can hear the reverb added to the track, but the whole entirety isn't washed out with reverb. And that's why the volume on my two effects tracks, my two through tracks that I'm using for effects tracks, is only at 20, while the volume that I'm using for the principal track is at 33. So it just remains louder. Okay. Also, with this method, I did some pretty cool stuff. Like on this scene right here, I have it so on the principal track, if I drag the crossfader to side B, a filter happens. Right? It filters out. It's like a high pass filter. Low pass filter. It filters out, right? Boom, cool. But on those effect tracks, I end up using a high pass filter on them. So basically, the principal gets muffled out like on some old school, 94 SP1200 type stuff. Like, you know what I mean? But the high end can still ring off with delays or reverb, and I could just mute those at any time if I need to. All right? So that is how I am achieving that. So, yeah, having one through track to operate as your principal through track, and having other, like you could potentially use two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you can use as many other tracks as you want to as the effect tracks and toggle between them like dry wet. So it's like I had different iterations on different scenes as far as different levels, different degrees of delay, different degrees of reverb, and how they would and they all acted differently depending on the scene. And this last scene was the only scene that changed the principal through track, meaning that's the one I use as a filter to filter out the principal through track and let the highs shine through. I hope you guys could gain something from that. And also, please, you Octaheads, the Octonauts, give me suggestions of how you guys run previously recorded beats in live sets via the Octatrack. That's something I've been scratching my head about, how to run longer tracks. Like basically, yeah, how to record longer tracks to the Octatrack and run them in time and all that type of stuff with my effects. Yeah, so you guys give me some ideas and suggestions. And yeah, this is how I turned my Octatrack into an SP. All right? I also used one track in chop mode, slice mode for all of my drops, all the butter, come down selector, yeah. And I used retrigger to get the stutter effect, like the same way someone would get a stutter effect out of an SP404. It's just stuttering on side B, and as I move it to A, it doesn't stutter anymore. So, butter, like that. All right? Love you guys. Go on, throw some music. Going to throw some video footage of the performance, some more video footage of the performance at the end here. Thank you so much to all of my Patreons. You guys is what keep the machine going. You guys are the oil for the machine. It's real, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Join up. More stuff on the way. I got some experiments and some bigger projects that I'm toying with ideas right now. It's on the way, baby. Here we come. Peace, y'all. One.
Thank you.